and welcome to Connected. I'm your host Tammy Lindy, bringing you interesting interviews, stories and local bands from our great southeast. Today on the show, we are joined by up-and-coming local band members of Until Home. We take a look at one of the State Library's exhibitions, Our Dreaming Animated Country, and football legend Gordon Tallis. But first up, Kirsty Garland joins us from Gymnastics Method. Welcome to the show, Kirsty.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Lovely to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Now tell me, Gymnastics Method, what is it?
Well, Gymnastics Method is a program that my best friend and I designed.
Yep.
And basically it is a strength and conditioning program based around gymnastics methods and how we train our gymnasts. And we want to take it to everyone. Gymnastics, we believe, is not just a sport for young people and for the elite, as a lot of people would think.
Yep.
And we want to be able to take that to everyone and adults and teenagers and be able to take some of those methods that we learn and apply to our younger gymnasts and build on it for older people and everyone as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I suppose too, having that flexibility and muscle usage is obviously going to help with health and all those types of benefits.
Absolutely, and that's what we sort of really feel and we believe in, is that we can help everyone. And gymnastics has so many great fundamental core elements to it, which is strength and flexibility and all of those sorts of things. And they help us move. We just want to help everyone move and get active and be fit for life, not just for specific sports related goals.
That's great. So encouraging to know that there are those types of avenues out there.
Yeah,
now, tell me a little bit about yourself, Kirsty. What is your background with gymnastics? Obviously, you've done a lot of training in this area, and I think you went to the Olympics, is that right?
Yes, I did. You're right. I started gymnastics when I was 5 years old.
Yep.
Just started with a little dream, and I was watching gymnastics on TV, and my mum went, "Oh wow, she's pretty interested," and I said, "Can I do that, Mum?" She took me down to my local gymnastics centre, and I started there, and from there I was selected, and I've actually was taken on board at the Australian Institute of Sport at age 10.
Wow.
I trained as an elite gymnast as a 10-year-old for the next 6 years.
Yeah.
And I competed at the 1996 Olympic Games when I was just 14. I was the youngest member of the Australian team that year.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've been involved in gymnastics ever since, as soon as I retired at the ripe old age of 16.
Yeah. You old you.
I decided to go into coaching, and I've been coaching ever since. So I coached from, our little tots, so our 2-year-olds, right through to state level gymnasts.
Wow.
As well, So
that's fascinating.
It's in my blood. Very passionate about what I do. So.
Absolutely. And having that amazing experience at such a young age, I suppose, would have really prepared you for life ahead of running your own business and all of those types of things, being mature. And
absolutely. Gymnastics doesn't just teach you how to be body aware and strength and all of that sort of stuff and how to learn how to do tricks. It teaches you more than that. It teaches you how to be disciplined, how to set goals, and all of those things help in life. And my time as a gymnast, I do not regret one bit. A lot of people ask me, you missed out a lot when you were younger because you were an elite athlete. And I said, you know what, I didn't miss out. I learnt so much on my way, and that's just created who I am as a person. So it's really nice to be able to take that on in my life now as well.
Absolutely, and I'm sure you're teaching the young people in Gymnastics Method all of those skills and abilities that you've learnt along the way.
Yeah, and what we're trying to do is that our core Gymnastics Method is about body-weighted functional movement, which is gymnastics in itself, learning how to control our core strength and then moving from, outwards of our extremities. So that's what we want to try and teach people, and how to be more mobile, like we talked about before, being flexible and things like that, and just being able to move a lot easier. And so it's really nice to be able to take that now through to our own little business.
No, that's
we're looking
exciting.
Forward to.
Now, if people want to get involved, what type of programs do you have? How do they get in touch with you?
Okay, well, we've just started, because we're a very new small business. We've just started. We run a class up in Deception Bay, 2 classes, because it's so popular. We only started at the beginning of this term, school term, so it's only been running a few weeks. We do have a Facebook page where you can contact contact us,
Right.
Gymnastics Method, or you can contact Jade at gymnasticsmethod.com.au or myself, Kirsty, at
Yep.
gymnasticsmethod.com.au.
Fantastic. Sounds great. I hope lots of people get in touch with you.
Excellent.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
During the week, our Connected crew went out to the Queensland State Library to check out the Our Dreaming Animating Country exhibition. Take a look.
Our Dreaming Animating Country is an exhibition about Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander dreaming stories from the general Queensland area. It's full of lots of animations from a bunch of different collections, and it's across 3 spaces in the library. So I'll give you a bit of a rundown. At the moment we're standing in Dargan, which is on level 1 of the State Library, and it's part of the Indigenous Knowledge Centre network. So it's a space that's been created and is dedicated to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities and showcasing our languages and heritage and different kinds of display items. Our Dreaming Animating Country on level 2 showcases a collection called the Dreaming Animations, which were created back in the 90s by a company called Aboriginal Nations Australia. And those stories are, they're all cartoon kind of animations, and they are mostly all about creation stories or moral stories. So they're up in level 2 of the State Library at the SLQ Gallery. On level 4 of the State Library of Queensland in Philip Bacon Heritage Gallery is our animation studio, where members of the public can come in and try their hand at a number of different animation techniques. And also in this gallery are original animation cells from the Dreaming Animations, which are featured on level 2. So you'll notice that this artwork is featured throughout the different exhibition spaces, and it's also going to be part of the touring component. And this artwork is actually by an artist whose name is Elisa Jane Carmichael. She's a Quandamooka woman from Stradbroke Island. And this artwork is actually, it's called Seagrass, This Could Be the Beginning of Something. And it kind of talks about the dreaming stories of the seagrass and how it used to be a land grass before it migrated into the sea. And there are 2 genders of seagrass, and that's kind of how it reproduces. And it's kind of all about connections back to her place, which is Stradbroke Island. We've had some really, really positive responses. People have been really impressed by these kinds of animations, and particularly in Dargan on level 1, one of the animation series is called Tellin' Country, and it was actually a series that was created in 2013 by school children kind of aged between 8 and 15, where members of our team would go out to different identified communities and take out a whole bunch of iPads and do these kinds of workshops with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children to record their dreaming stories. So whether that's stories that had been passed on by their grandparents or by other elders, or just stories about what they do on the weekend and this great football grand final that they were part of. So we've had some really proud parents and families of those kids come in and being able to see the animations that they created in such a big exhibition, and they've been really proud. Great responses. And so we've got a bunch of the different animation collections travelling, so parts of the dreaming animations, and then parts of the collections in Dargan, like the Royal Flying Doctor Service and Retold Stories of the Torres Strait and Monash University's collection. And then we've also got a few international First Nation animations going. So they're from the United States and Noumea.
Welcome back. Joining me now are 4 young men who together make up the local band Until Home. They are Michael Trapp, Matthew Reisinger, Clayton Mullins and Mitchell Hartley. Welcome to the show, boys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Lovely to have you. Now, Michael,
Yes.
can you tell me a little bit about how the band got together and what you do, really?
Yeah, well, we've all sort of played together through church and youth group type of thing for a few years. Matt and I have played together since we started playing guitar, And it was around November where these guys started coming along and having a jam with us at practice. And then
great.
sort of, I'd say by December, New Year sort of thing, we were having every weekly rehearsals as a band. So yeah.
That's very exciting. Now, tell me, Until Home, where did the name sort of come from?
Yeah, we through a lot of text message conversations between Matt and I. What about this name? What about this name?
I think really the name itself is basically like, until home is, basically home is when we die and when we go basically to heaven. It's what we do here, it's our dreams, our goals, it's everything, and it's our aspirations, I guess, really.
Yeah, it's almost like as fun as awesome as it is, it's the lack of importance and not to take anything too seriously almost, because it's kind of just what you're doing in the meantime for us,
Yeah, fantastic.
Not take yourself too seriously. Yeah, exactly.
You only got one life.
Yeah.
That's right, that's it. Now, tell me a little bit about, I'd love to know more about your musical styles and influences. Obviously, as a 4-piece band, it's a fairly new sort of thing. So because you write original songs and original music now, don't you? So who's sort of the main lyricist, music creator? Is it a team effort or?
Yeah, it's a team effort. Seriously, solid team effort. Everyone puts in lyrics, and we'll do more of that, especially I think over the coming year.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's good. So tell me a little bit. Let's talk to the boys up the back. You're being very, very silent, strong, silent types. Now, tell me, what instruments do you play in the band, boys?
I'm the drummer, and
I play bass.
yeah, Clayton writes a lot of the songs as well. Though he's been playing guitar for years, so
Yeah.
Well, I started playing guitar when I got into music, but I'm not usually the bass player. Usually it's Trappy, because he's been like a really good bass player.
That's my first
for
instrument.
years.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm loving it playing for Until Home.
Yeah.
Really getting
Absolutely.
into it.
So have you had any gigs recently to be able to sort of branch out and be like, yeah, we're a 4-piece band now? Launching?
Not exactly yet. This is kind of our first one, but we're looking at September. We're just getting the last of our songs together at the moment to finish up a set, and then hopefully September, August we'll start branching out to Brisbane, Ipswich, and start playing some shows. So
Nice.
we're looking forward.
I think
to
it's
that.
easy to cram, to plan a gig and then cram all your songs together to be ready for that, and then you find yourself stressing and not enjoying it. So we thought rather than that, we'd just get our set ready and then just go nuts, book gigs and
things,
and have a heap of fun with it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, tell me, musical styles and influences, are there any sort of main bands that you guys follow and are fans of that influence your music
Metallica.
and your performance? Metallica.
No.
There's a pretty large variety, I think.
We all listen to different bands,
Yeah.
really, and they've all been big influences on us.
Yeah.
Individually.
He loves Coldplay and he's obsessed,
Yeah.
I love John
I
Mayer,
understand.
love blues.
Yeah.
I loved Snow Patrol back in the day. That was my band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paramore punk rock type
Nice.
thing.
Yes.
So it's
Love the
kind of
Paramore.
what inspires, I think, individually, and then something we can bring together as a group.
nice
It
eclectic
keeps it
mix.
fresh, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Just having that nice eclectic mix of music and everything in together. Yeah, absolutely.
Keep it creative.
Oh, creativity. Gotta love it. Now tell me, how do people get in touch with the band and interact on social media or find out about your gigs?
Yeah, well, we're on Facebook. It's www.facebook.com/untilhome.
Yep.
And we're also on Twitter as well. You can find that out through our Facebook and also Instagram.
Yep.
Instagram's just Until Home, so that's an easy one.
Instagram. Yep, absolutely. No worries. Well, thank you so much for being on the show
thanks for
today.
having
It's
us.
been lovely to have you. Looking forward to hearing you later in the show playing your song.
Thank you.
Football legend Gordon Tallis has represented both Queensland and Australia, led the Brisbane Broncos to 3 NRL premierships, and now adds nationally renowned football commentator to his growing list of accomplishments. He was recently the guest speaker at the Ipswich Jets Sportsman's Luncheon, where our team had the opportunity to chat with him.
So Gordon, obviously coming out to the Jets today, is it good to come out and see the youth sort of better their skills and try and work their way into the NRL?
Yeah, well, obviously we all come from somewhere. I grew up in Townsville and I used to go to the Sports Reserve, which was our main oval, and Townsville's a bit like Ipswich. It's a real sort of blue-collar area, and you'd go there and, watch, because every team feeds to the Ipswich Jets here from Bouvel and all those areas, from the Fassifern Bombers, so they all feed to this this rugby league side, so then you normally come and support, and I don't normally get weekends off because I'm normally working in the NRL, so it's good to get a weekend off and to come here and watch a bit of local footy, because this is our pathways. This is the same stepping stones I had to go through, and it's so important for our game at the top end that this level is so healthy.
Gordon, obviously you're a Townsville boy, and there's the QRL has actually approved a team for Townsville called the Townsville Blackhawks. How do you think they'll go in the Intrust Super Cup?
Well, Townsville's a very strong area, and I'm going to support them obviously because I'm a Townsvillian, so you cannot say that they're not going to be good. But I think rugby league's. So when I grew up there was one under-age team, one under-9s, one under-10s. This at my local club. Well, there's 5 in every grade now, so rugby league is booming up north. It's very big in Townsville, so it's just another pathway. So we've got to give those guys, another, stage where they can perform so they can get into the NRL. So they're all different pathways, and it hasn't been there. So you had to either go live in Mackay and play for, other Cutters, or you had to go play for the Northern Pride, which the Ipswich Jets would have played against on many occasions. So it's important for Townsville to have a team.
So do you think that the Jets do a good job on themes days such as like Kim Walters and Women in Leagues Day?
Absolutely outstanding. Well, for one, we have an Anzac Day, and I saw the Anzac Day jersey. Of course, blokes went away in a rusty tin boat to fight for our freedom. So important to the Australian culture. You've got Women in League, and there's 100,000 volunteers, and most of those are women. Let's be honest, dads stand and watch the games of footy, and the mums are working behind the scenes, washing her jersey, doing all that. But more importantly, they're on boards now, are the chair of the NRL. And I'm not talking about this level, I'm talking about at the highest level. So women played the biggest role in our game. And it's about time that we started recognising that. And, any time in a heritage round where they wear the old-fashioned jerseys and all that, every round that we have is great for our game.
So obviously Origin's just around the corner, and Andrew Johns has said for the last 9 years that it's the Blues year.
You've been saying that for 9 years.
So how do you think Queensland's going to stack up this year against the Blues?
Oh, they're always tough. They're on a knife's edge, and that's a cliche, but they're tough to win. Queensland, I'm going to back them. I'm in Queensland. It's simple as that, and I don't even think anything about that. But, we're going to be... They're always tough to win, as long as we've got Cameron Smith and Thurston and Slater and Inglis and Cronk and Hodges, Sam Thaiday, Nate Miles, the list goes on. I think we'll get the job done. Matt Scott's another name, absolutely outstanding for Queensland. So I'm not going to back against them, that's for sure.
So you say the names like Cameron Smith and Cooper Cronk, Jonathan Thurston, those sort of guys. How do you think Queensland is going to go when those guys retire? Do you think the Queensland youth will be strong enough to continue the sort of success Queensland has had?
Absolutely. We are the smaller brother. We sort of hit a real purple patch where, we've got all those wins, but there hasn't been much between it. The thing is, I grew up when New South Wales were losing to Queensland, but I was inspired by Wally Lawson, Gene Miles and Mal Meninga and all those guys. And then I started losing Origin, so then I come through a period just before I played and we lost a few series, then we won a couple, and then now Queensland have been dominant. New South Wales have so much motivation. All the young kids now that are coming through, we've got to hope that Queensland match their enthusiasm. That's the biggest thing about Origin, is now they've got a fair bit of motivation, because all the kids that were 10, now 18, haven't watched New South Wales win. They're pretty motivated to win a series, so we've got to make sure that we match that.
Thanks, Gordon, for joining us on Connected TV.
Welcome back. My earlier guests Until Home are just tuning up to play their song Colour. If you would like any more information about the band or any of our other interesting guests today, please head to our website connectedtv.com.au. Thank you to all our special guests, Kirsty Garland, Until Home, the Queensland State Library and Gordon Tallis. I'm Tammy Lindy, and until next time, I leave you with the sweet sounds of Until Home. Stay connected.
this needs some color, imagination, if we both want this to work. The waves are receding and retreating back to the ocean again. But I am just burning, reigniting old flames red hot for you. Just try remember the beginning, how wide awake things were. When you say I ask how just to squeeze through. When all this time I fell short. This needs some color, imagination, if we both want this to work. Just try remember where we're heading before we head off down this road. Take you to dinner, to a restaurant, order the special for two. Just like a necklace that you're wearing, hang around me for a while. When you say, John, I ask how high, just to squeeze through. When all this time I fell short.
Lights flicker, burn brighter from all of our energy. Lights flicker, burn brighter from all of our small talk.
Lights flicker, burn brighter when we accept ourselves. Lights flicker, burn brighter when we excuse our faults. When you say to squeeze through. When all this time I fell short. When you say I ask how just to squeeze through. When all this time I fell short. Well, this needs some color, imagination, if we both want this to work.